Hi Caribbeans family, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be making this beautiful kaftan gown with a front ruffled pocket. It has a strap at the sleeve and also a bishop neckline. So keep watching, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment on my videos. Let's get started. First thing I did was to fold the material into 4 places, and I used 15 inches to fold the material in 4. Okay, that is, I used 2 yards of Ankara for the body of the dress, and I'm going to draft the front and back piece together here. So as you can see, I've marked my starting line, which is also my shoulder point, placing my tape on a straight line. I am going to mark the depth of the back neckline. So for the depth of the back neckline, I came down by 1.5 inches, and for the width of the neck, I am going to go by 3 inches. At this end of the material, I came down by 1.5 for the shoulder loop, then mark my 3 inches neck width, then connect the neck width to the shoulder loop like this. Next thing I'm going to do is to connect my neckline, my neck width to the neck depth like this. This is for the back neck depth and neck width. So now I'm going to place my tape on a straight line. I'm going to mark 10 inches for my bust points. These are my body points. We are not going to be making use of that 10 inches for both bust points. I will mark my waist point at 17 inches, and I will mark my hip point at 24 inches. So I realized that my client is on the bigger side, so I didn't use the 10 inches as her bust point, because her bust point is going to be from the sleeve. We are cutting, remember we are cutting a kaftan gown, so her bust point is going to be from the wideness of the sleeve, the sleeve opening. So for the sleeve opening, from that shoulder slope, I came down by 11 inches. That is going to serve as her bust point and her sleeve opening as well. So the 10 inches that I mark is not going to be useful anymore. I also marked the full length before I started working on the sleeve opening. So mark your full length before starting. So I divided my bust point by 4, and I added 2 inches allowance to it. So I don't want the gown to be too big on my client. That's why I added 2 inches allowance. On the hip, I skipped the waistline and I went to the hip. The hip divide by 4, and I added extra 2 inches allowance. Okay, I didn't use my waist measurement. I used the biggest part, which is the bust and the hip, for the drafting of this gown. On the full length, at the full length, I am going to use only my hip circumference divided by 4. I did not add allowance to it because I want it to be curved. I want it to look curvy. As you can see, it looks curvy. Okay, I want the pattern to be very curvy. So we are done drafting the front and the back piece. Now I am going to go to the neckline and draft the front piece also there. So I connected my sleeve opening like this. Okay, this is my sleeve opening. So for the front neck depth, I am going to come down from the shoulder by 3 inches for the front neck depth, and I'm going to connect it from the shoulder width like this. And the opening, that's more opening at the chest area, I came down by 4 inches. That's going to be for the slit that is going to be at the center front. So we are going to cut both the front and the back piece together right now. In order to make the video not to be too long, I went to cut out the excesses, and this is what we have. I'm going to remove the back piece. This is the back piece. I'm going to remove it, and let's work on the front piece. So I went ahead to cut out an extra sleeve, which is 5 inches on fold. So on folding it is going to be 10 inches, but folding it is 5 inches. So I'm going to attach it to the sleeve like this. Okay, it's going to make the sleeve to be longer, so I'm going to do it on all the 4 parts of the sleeve before joining the shoulders. Next thing I did was to create an interfacing for the front piece, only the front piece, because it's going to have a bishop collar. Okay, it's going to have a bishop collar. That's why we are not going to use the placket at the back piece. So now I am going to create it like this. Watch what I'm doing. I am trying to open up the slit, that small slit that I came down by 4 inches with. So I'm creating it on interfacing as well. Now after cutting it out, I'm going to place it right side facing right side, okay, on top of the neckline of the main body. Then I'm going to pin it up like so. After pinning it down, I am going to sew only on the slit area in a V shape, okay, like this and like this in a V shape, and then I'll fold the hemline and hem it down, then iron it and show you what it looks like. And this is what it looks like after sewing, okay. As you can see, I went ahead to attach the sleeves. As you can see, okay, we have extra sleeve and extra length. So now I am going to open up the interfacing for you guys to see. It came out so beautiful. After sewing the V shape, I went ahead to unfold it to the wrong side and also top stitch here that I've just pointed, okay. I run a stitch there and ironed it down, and this is what I have. So I use iron to identify the center line of the front piece, so it will enable us to know where to fix our pocket the right way. So this is our pocket, and I have gone ahead to fold the upper side of the pocket by 1/2 inch. So the length that is remaining is 9 inches. So we use 1 inch to fold the upper side, and I'm going to put a ruffle around it. For the ruffles, I am using this organza for the ruffles of the pocket, and here is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the whole length of organza and half of another for the ruffles, okay, another length, and I'm going to fold it like this because I don't want to be cutting the organza in a full length. I want to fold it so that when I'm cutting it will be very easy for me. So I'll be cutting it like that. After folding it into 4, I'll go in by 5 inches, okay, because I want the organza to be 2 inches in length, as in the length of the width of the organza, the wideness is 2 inches. So I'm using 5 inches. The 1/2 inch is going to be for the joining, okay. I'm cutting 2 of this, but I later cut another one, making it 1 1/2, 1 1/2 on each side of the pocket. So I'm just trimming it off because that one is more than 5 inches. So I'm going to fold it in like this. First off, I am going to close the end of the organza, okay. I'm going to close it like this, so it 1/2 inch, then fold it out and iron it and start putting down the ruffles around the it's just in a form of printing, okay. So here I'm done stitching the end of the organza. I'm just ironing it down, okay, to have a neat finishing. So I'm ironing it down by 2.5 inches, okay. Remember we cut out 5 inches, so what we have here on fold is 2.5. That's what I'm ironing. After ironing, I am going to bring my pocket and I'm going to be printing it all around it like so, okay. I'll be sewing and I'll be printing it like so until I go around the pocket. So after that, I am going to use this this is how I close the mouth of the organza. You know the mouth is always very sharp, and when you wear it, it might be shocking you. So this is what I do to close the mouth of the organza from not doing anything to you when you wear your dress. So I use this to seal the mouth. So back to the material. I have the material, the front piece, sorry. So I have the front piece here. I am going to determine where the pocket is going to be situated. Okay, so from the shoulder line, I'm going to place my tape on a straight line, and I'll come down by 18 inches, just 1 inch below the waistline. That is what I did. Okay, if you are on the bigger side, use 1 inch below your waistline, especially if you have bust. But if you don't have bust, use exactly your waistline. Or if you are not on the bigger side, use exactly your waist. From the center front, which we have already used iron to mark the center, I'll go in by 2 inches, and on the other side I will also go in by 2 inches. So that is where we are going to place the pocket. Okay, I'm going to be adding my pocket from that 2 inches line, and I will sew it like this. I'm not going to top stitch it. I'm just going to sew around it. After sewing, this is what we are going to have. So I went down, I had to iron it down, iron all the ruffles down. Okay, so after I'm done with that, it's going to like come this out. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to join the two shoulders together, because I'm done creating the design for the front piece. So I'll join the two shoulders together, leaving, because there is no space on the shoulder, I did not come down by 1 inch that I'll use to create the ruffles automatically. So I'm going to use an extra piece to create the attachment for the ruffles. So I'm going to sew the shoulder with 1/2 inch first of all, and iron it down. So guys, this is what I have after joining the shoulders. So I'm going to open up the seam and iron it. Then I'm going to bring this piece, okay, and I'll fold it like by 2.5 to 3 inches. Let's say 3 inches. Okay, I'll cut it in two like this. The wideness of this piece is 3 inches, and the length is the length of the sleeve from the shoulder to the sleeve. So I am going to use it to create a strand, where the strand of the rope is going to pass through on the neck at the shoulder line. Remember, the sleeve has a strap, okay, that you can draw, a drawstring strap. Okay, so now I went ahead to hem the two sides of the strap, and after hemming the two sides, I am going to place it in between the center lining of the shoulder. That is that place I joined the shoulder. I'll place it in between, okay, and I'll pin it down and join the two sides. Okay, on that place that I hemmed it, I wanted to fold it in, but because I have hemmed it two sides, there is no need folding anything. Okay, make sure to mark the center of the strap. The center is going to be stitched as well. I will attach it, and it should align with the shoulder joining, okay, on both sides. So of that place that I'm pinning, that's the two sides of the strap. I'm going to sew it, and also sew on the place that I marked with my chalk, and that sewing should be attached to the shoulder line, okay, the shoulder joining. Okay, it should be attached, aligned with the shoulder lining here. Align is the right word for it. And then attach my and create a rope, okay, a rope that is like 10 inches longer than the sleeve. After you measure the length of the sleeve, you add extra 7 to 6 inches, okay, so that you can create a strap. So this is what I have. So the next thing I am going to do is to measure around my neckline to create my bishop collar. Okay, I measured around my neckline, and what I have there is about 20 something, I'll be 20 inches or 20.5. So I'm going to create a bishop collar, okay, that is 20.5 in length, and in width is 2 inches, but I'll use 1.5 inch. So in here I lost 2 videos while creating this masterpiece. I lost the video where I was creating the strap, the rope for the strap at the sleeve, and also lost the video of the the collar when I was making the collar. But I already have a video on how to make a visual collar using iron. Okay, if you just scroll through my page, you are going to see it on my channel. You're going to see it. So this is what I have after joining the two sides of the gown. It came out so beautiful and neat, and this is what it looks like on the mannequin. It's so beautiful on the mannequin, and my client loves it. So if you are interested in my tutorials, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have a Facebook page, follow me there, and also on TikTok. Thank you so much for joining my class. See you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.